Hello to my English speaking friends. I want to make a video about something I think I got to understand that this coronavirus from China was forecast or foreseen by a British author called Terry Nations, which is the author of Doctor Who TV series and of the Survivors TV series from the BBC. Okay, I have this the entire collection of Survivors DVDs, which in Italy came about in the 90s, I guess. We got to have published these DVDs, and when I was a teenager in the 70s, I fell in love with this TV series, which I guess you should know very well because you are British or American. But especially for the British people, for my British viewers, I want to remind you that somehow this author, Terry Nation, forecast that a virus from China eventually would kill most of the population, of the world population, maybe the 80% of the population, of the world's population. And if you remember, at the start of the episodes, when there is the theme and the score, so there is these images of a Chinese doctor which something fell off his hands, some chemical ingredient, and probably a virus explodes, and we see that there is somebody who comes to the Moscow airport. There is the stamp on the passport, and then from Moscow to Rome, Berlin, and London finally. So when the virus has arrived to London too, so the story moves from starts of this DVD, this TV series starts totally in England. So when I was a child, a teenager, I fell in love with this series because it showed me something about your beautiful country. There was much nature. There were many British landscapes because the main characters of the series had to run away from the city, from London town, and the main characters are, if you remember, Abby Grant, okay, which is played by Caroline Seymour, a very beautiful actress, and Lucy Fleming, which is Ian Fleming's daughter. Ian Fleming is the author of James Bond character and novels, and this is another good actor, Greg Preston, played by Ian McCulloch, and the other man is Charles Vaughan, played by Dennis Lill. Okay, so I fell in love with this series because it spoke to me about Britain, these people, fine people, and all this countryside, British countryside. which I love. So it was an error in my brain. I wanted to find it on a DVD. So finally it was published in Italy too. So I always think about it because I like it so much, and I've seen the episodes, not all yet, but I have them. So I want just to remind you that somebody, Terry Nation, forecast this simple fact that a virus from China would explode and spread all over the world and cause many deaths. Let's hope, let's cross fingers that scientists and doctors will defeat this disease. Anyway, what I want to suggest is that it often happens that authors, writers forecast the future. Okay, they foresee something to come in the future because of their fantasy, their imagination, and because of their talent. So I have here some books about very prophetical writers like Jules Verne, the French author, which he forecast that man would go to the moon, okay, a century before it really happened, and many other things he forecast. He had so much fantasy, and because I think literature and art are a means of knowledge for us all. So there is not only science, luckily, there is also art and literature. For example, there is this Italian writer, Emilio Salgari. Emilio Salgari wrote many novels about India without even having been there. He was never there. He just studied, just like Jules Verne, which wrote also this wonderful book, the Green Ray, I guess, Il Raggio Verde, which le Rayons Verts en français, which Eric Romer, the great filmmaker, French filmmaker, made a wonderful movie about it, and he wrote about Scotland without even having been there, with many many new notions about it, which probably these authors saw these informations from all the papers, you know, the Atlantic. Okay, so I love this fact that human fantasy is so good that we can foresee something of the future, and when it happens, it's thrilling, it's exciting. So I wanted to tell you, you are British, you should maybe remember, or your fathers and mothers, or older brothers and sisters may remember this TV series, which was very good, and I also want to advise you to look at these episodes, which are now even on YouTube. I have seen that on my computer all the episodes are now even on YouTube, so you can see and watch. For example, in the Star Trek series, you can remember that I can note that the authors forecast the remote control, even the smartphones, not the teleport. The teleport will never be invented, I guess. But as you can see, human fantasy can forecast something about the future, and it may be just an accident or a lucky break, I don't know, a casualty, but I think it's quite funny to know, to acknowledge such effect. This termination forecast the coronavirus, okay? In the movie, in the TV series, there were so many deaths. I hope now it won't be the case. I hope somehow it will be stopped soon. But if you can look back these episodes, I think you will like them. Okay, I say bye to my French viewers, which aren't so many, I guess. And see you next time if I will film some other episode in English. Okay, bye.